after this month, after this year, 2025 is the year that MAGA died. This is the year that this hat is no longer controversial. The hat is not edgy. The hat is not provocative. It doesn't even mean anything. This hat is dead. This hat is dead. Now, metaphorically speaking, and this is the future. And let's look at the ledger. On the side of MAGA, you have Lindsey Graham, Ben Shapiro, Marco Rubio, Randy Fine, Mark Levin. Apparently, all of that is MAGA.
And the sad part is, and a lot of people that are still like fighting for Trump every step of the way on X and all these platforms, they don't even realize that the same people that are defending these never Trumpers, these neocons, these people that hated Trump from the beginning, they are siding with these people. That should almost like open up your mind. Like, why am I siding and agreeing with the same people that were never Trumpers, who couldn't stand him, who said they would never vote for him? Even some of them compared him to a Nazi. And now they're like, oh yeah, we're so on board, we're so MAGA. Yet these are the same people that are for these endless wars. These are the same people that are for funding Israel and all these other nations before helping Americans. And it comes from our taxes. The nerve on these politicians. We really need normal, everyday Americans to be running for positions of power. Get involved. I'm getting involved by talking. I want to get more involved. This is just a stepping stone. But people that are not caring what happens or care to get into politics, right now is that time. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say it, this country's going to go in a ditch, and you're going to wish you cared more. And that's why I'm doing this show. Even if it's barely talking, I want to get these clips to the public so you guys can see what we're being lied about, what's happening in the world, and the potential people in the future who can run for office. For example, NICK FUENTES right here. He is a perfect person in my eyes of someone who should run for future president.
Together, they support war with Iran. Chinese students, H-1B visas, 300,000 deportations all year. And then on the other side, apparently what is not MAGA, what is kicked out of MAGA, wacky, crazy haters, Republican haters, Democrats, third worldists. You got Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Andrew Tate, NICK FUENTES, Alex Jones. You got all these people on the other side in favor of America first, mass deportations, no foreign students, no foreign workers, no war with Iran, no war with Russia in Ukraine. What has become of the movement? It's been inverted, and it is now dead. And I think people recognize that. It is now a decision, and we're going to introduce our other topic, but this is now the dichotomy. You have MAGA on the one side, and what does this even stand for anymore? You got MAGA on one side. What does that even mean? Make America great for who? Make it great for Israel, Indian immigrants, Chinese students, illegal immigrant farm workers. Make America.
And that's a great example. These Chinese people that are coming over that Trump's defending, saying it's pro-MAGA and it's part of the policy plan that will make our country better. It's a joke. He's putting these people from different countries, different foreign nations' interests before American. Example, Argentina. He's buying their beef from them supposedly and doing a $40 billion bailout when we have local farming and meat that we could buy in America. How about 600,000 Chinese students coming from China, who's supposed to be our number one enemy, according to the first Trump administration? Now they're allowing 600,000 students to come in so we can get them jobs that American workers should be getting. And Trump's response is, no, Americans can't be in these positions, almost calling us lazy, stupid, or just not capable of doing these positions or jobs. Or how about Israel sending them billions, fighting their proxy wars for them in their benefit? I swear Israel is like the number one foreign nation, yet they're so small. They're the size of New Jersey, one state in our country. They have control over a whole entire government, and it has never been as clear as it is today. And that's why I think you're seeing a huge divide. But I do think that MAGA, which is MAGA, and the neocons are a very, very small minority of the Republican base. Because from what I see all across these platforms, is America first, America only, which I support, obviously, because we need to put American interests before we even help any of these other countries.
Great again for them. Make Israel great. Make America great for the global empire, defense contractors, big pharma, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, Palantir. You got MAGA on the one side, and like I said, Brandy Fine, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz. And then on the other side, you got America first. No ambiguity, no ifs, ands, or buts. What does that mean? America first. Americans first. America only.
Preach.
America
Preach.
first is our credo. Americanism, not globalism, is the credo. Tucker, Fuentes, Candace, Marjorie, Thomas Massie, Dan Bilzerian, Myron, Jake Shields, Lucas Gage, all the greats, all the usual suspects. That's the question. Aiden Ross.
Yes, I'm telling you, there is a movement happening, and people are sick of the establishment. And Trump's literally campaigning with the establishment. He's promoting books like Mark Levin's recently. He's campaigning for Randy Vine, or whatever this new dude is, who literally is talking about Israel 24/7 and calls Tucker, who campaigned for Trump and used to be a good friend with him, the most dangerous anti-Semite in the country. And Trump doesn't even tell him, hey, that's over the top, shut up. Doesn't defend his friend who's been there for him every step of the way, which shows that, I'm sorry, you don't have morals. If you can't even defend your longest supporters who campaigned for you, brought in millions of votes because of them campaigning for you, and you can't defend them, you are you're just a disgusting person. You have no morals. And I'm sorry, the most loyal supporters of Trump he's been going against lately, especially Marjorie Taylor Greene, January 6th, after the election, who was one of the first and only people that were there the whole time, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, because she wants the release of the Epstein files and no more money sent to foreign nations, she's MAGA's #1 enemy as of today. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look for Trump. And it's sad because I feel like the neocons have taken over this administration, just like the first time around. It's like they learned nothing from Trump 1.0. And it's sad because, again, I voted for him 3 times, but I'm not seeing nothing good that's helping the American people. So, yeah, we're going to go to another subject because he has 2 videos we're going to react to. The first one is about MAGA being dead. Second one is 2 reasons why Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are out of MAGA. Let's review it.
Why is Trump against Thomas Massie and Marjorie Greene? It is literally 2 things. 2 reasons. Why are Thomas Massie and Marjorie Greene out of MAGA? What do they have in common? Why do I say because of the commonality? A lot of Trump defenders, a lot of Republican apparatchiks will say that the reason Trump is condemning Massie is because Massie doesn't vote with Republicans in Congress. Massie has a problem with Trump's agenda as a libertarian. That's what they argue in defense. They say, well, Thomas Massie happens to be against AIPAC and foreign aid to Israel, but the real reason is that he's this obstructionist. But that's not true of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been one of Trump's strongest allies and a good friend of his since she got into Congress 5 years ago. So you can't say that about Marjorie Greene. You can say that Thomas Massie, and I would even argue there's some credibility to this. I think it's a pretext, but it's sort of a compelling one. You might argue that, well, Thomas Massie hasn't been specifically a great ally to Trump, but that cannot be said about Marjorie Greene. Marjorie Greene has always been a loyal supporter and defender of Trump and his agenda in Congress. So why is Trump condemning her and Massie?
I'll tell you why. It's because they're not doing exactly what he says. Yet again, he's campaigning for neocons because when it comes to Israel and all these wars they want to cause and keep going, the neocons step right up. You don't even have to ask them twice. They're already signing whatever you need them to sign before it's even been being proposed from the president. That's how much of war hawks these guys are. They profit and make millions off of dead Americans going to these overseas and endless forever wars. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie want to quit funding it. Trump doesn't like that. The system doesn't like that because the wars are where they make the most money off of.
Well, there's a common denominator between them both, and it's not that they're against Trump's agenda. It's two things. One, they're both against foreign aid to Israel. Marjorie Greene, like Thomas Massie, has become extremely outspoken against all the U.S. aid to Israel, which, by the way, is what Trump's own doctrine calls for. If Trump says America first, and pursuant to his executive order, the State Department was ordered to review all foreign aid to every country, that review, that executive order, that policy should apply to Israel as well. But it didn't, and it hasn't. Out of all the countries that we give foreign aid to, the only country that kept getting their foreign aid was Israel. And when Congress considers items like this, the only country where this became a controversy was Israel. Last year, AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, committed $100 million specifically to unseat any congressman or woman that voted against the aid package to Israel last April.
Also, I want to say Susie Wilds, if you guys don't know who that is, she is running this administration. She worked for the Israel government. Now she's in Trump's administration. We have people that were working for foreign nations' governments in the Trump administration. You should question everything just by hearing that right there. America first? Yeah, no, Israel first.
So Marjorie Greene and Thomas Massie, they have the America first position. They're against foreign aid to Israel. For that, they become critics of Trump and his agenda, and they're out of MAGA. Reason number two, they both are calling for the release of the Epstein files. Once again, something that Trump himself promised. His son, the doofus, Don Jr., is at Turning Point USA saying, I'm on every FBI wanted list except the Epstein list. They promised this. They promised disclosure on the Epstein files for 6 years. Epstein died under Trump, and ever since Trump left office, Trump and his family and his boosters, all they could talk about was the Epstein files. Epstein didn't kill himself. Clinton was on the island. They promised to release them during the campaign. They went through the motions.
Isn't it amazing, like, the change of pace from Trump 1.0, like 2016 Trump, like during the debates when he'd be like, when he would get booed during the debates, he'd literally call them out. He'd be like, that's all of their donors, but I don't need donor money because I'm self-made. Boss ass moment. In that moment, I was like, damn, this guy's real. I don't care if he's a billionaire. He's talking insane stuff everyday Americans want to hear. And then now this Trump, total opposite, just a normal politician now. It's insane to me.
And tried to trick everybody this February. And now that Marjorie and Thomas Massie actually want the files, that's the other reason they're out of MAGA. Now, what have we learned? In order to be a part of the Trump movement and a part of MAGA, you have to support foreign aid to Israel. You have to be in favor of Trump's cover-up of the Epstein files. That's apparently now what MAGA means. MAGA used to mean three things. It meant no free trade, no foreign wars, no mass migration. That's what MAGA used to mean. And if you weren't on board with those things, you were out. And consequently, most of the GOP was out, and the Israel lobby was out. That's why Trump was criticizing Sheldon Adelson in 2015, and AIPAC, and the Israel lobby. Look up the tape, December 2015. Google Trump, Rubio, Adelson. It's all there. Anybody that was in favor of mass migration, foreign wars like Iraq, or free trade was out of MAGA. MAGA was smaller in DC, but it was bigger in America. That's the movement that had the mass following. That's the MAGA that people supported. Now, it's a precondition that you're in favor of covering up for an Israeli sex trafficking asset, and you're in favor of sending taxpayer money to Israel while we suspend foreign aid for every other country while we're running a $2 trillion deficit on top of a $38 trillion debt. That's now apparently what MAGA means.
And the craziest part is they pass so many bills, yet they can't pass a bill, a couple billion, just to help tax-paying citizens get by. Help us because our taxes have been spent into oblivion for decades while these corrupt politicians have gotten nothing but richer. And they can't just pass something, just give us a little bit of ease in our daily lives. They started with the $6,000 or $5,000 Doge checks. That never happened. Then they said $2,000, still hasn't happened. Now they're saying people who make under 100 grand will get 2,000. I'll believe it when I see it, because you guys already said Doge, never happened. I mean, a lot of the stuff they said they would do just hasn't happened. Just being honest, I'm a realist. I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to support my side if they're not doing what they campaigned on, which they're not doing even, I would say, they're doing like 25% of what they campaigned on. And, you know, it's sad. But Nick Fuentes, right on target as usual, and that's why he's enemy number one with the neocons. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.